Yo, what's up, motherfuckers and fatherfuckers? Is that the opposite, or is that some sort of, like, homophobic, gender bias thing where I'm assuming that, like, the female version of a motherfucker would be fucking a father? Am I a bigot? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to play a song. My name's Loki Sapfa. This is The Problem with Everything, and you're about to hear a song by our good friends in Ghetto Blast. I thought I had lost these tracks, but I just found them, and I'm excited to play a song for you. Let's do Love to the Heartless by Ghetto Blast.
You ever seen Cat Williams before?
Of course, he's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Fairly hacky.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. He's like, I like him.
Really?
I'm talking shit. I don't have anything to back this up.
I'm back up on bullshit.
I don't even have examples. It's just...
I mean, I don't know. He kind of annoys me. He can get on my nerves after a while.
He went all crazy. Did you hear about that?
He went crazy here, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, and other places.
And other places,
here,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Jed was there.
Oh yeah. I think I remember. What did he say happened?
He was like 2 hours late coming out on stage. And then he came out in like a dirty wife beater with like chaw stains all over it. And he was chewing tobacco and spitting it all over the stage. And he was like, he didn't do comedy. He like explained this whole long story of how somebody was using his name and he didn't actually book this show and he's breaking the law by leaving the state of California. And
wow,
he's on probation, and so he's gonna get popped. But because his name was advertised, he showed up like 2 hours late and didn't do comedy, but whatever. And he started doing push-ups, like trying to be all hard, and he was like calling people out in the audience, like trying to fight him when they were booing him and shit.
You've seen cokeheads, right? You've seen people on coke. Have you ever dealt with any meth heads? I don't think I've ever. I've dealt with
a little bit, but not
with people on meth. But
yeah, not chronically, luckily.
So would you call that crack? Is that like
I would think
a crackhead, man?
Maybe meth, maybe something uppery.
Yeah, something that makes you super aggressive.
Yeah,
that's why you take coke, man. You fucking do it before you go out, and then you're like all hitting on chicks, and you don't give a fuck because who cares what they say? Because you're on coke.
I tweeted that video to Joe Rogan, and he tweeted back to me. That was my proudest moment in life.
Which video?
Cat Williams.
Oh.
He's like, have you seen this? He's like, no. And he said something like, it's like, with great talent comes great craziness or something. Something like that.
It's very diplomatic.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one of those things where it sounds like a public meltdown, honestly.
Well, because then like a week later, he like assaulted his fucking gardener. Like he like tried to fight his gardener, and then he like got kicked out of like a Whole Foods or something for yelling at the cashier, and then he wouldn't leave. And like
No,
it was a Target. That's what it was. It was a Target.
It's tough being a crackhead.
I bet.
Or being around one.
I think he's got a new special since then, so he seems to be maintaining overall.
Yeah, had to do a little crack, fall off the wagon for a bit, and then come back up, jump back on the wagon, and be like, okay, that's enough crack. Once you start trying to fight people who are supposed to be around your house, it's time to hang it up.
You gotta dabble, you know. I think I got it from Ari Shafir. He's talking about heroin, and he's like, you gotta try heroin once. Like, but you can't just try it once. It's like the ultimate paradox, because how do you not do the best drug in the world while you're alive?
Right.
Like, how do you have to?
Mm-hmm.
It's like never coming. Like, that's what that's like. Like, how do you not have that experience, but when do you do it? Cause
yeah.
It's like if I got like a terminal diagnosis, I'd be like, heroin overdose. Like, just like, give me twice as much, make sure it'll kill me, let's do this. Like,
heroin overdose city, next destination.
Anyway, should we start?
I don't know, we just started going. Okay.
You have a title? A tittle? Titillating title? Sean Schmock and Sean Connery's chicken salad sandwich shop.
I don't have anything yet. Shit.
Starring the Silver Surfer.
I have unbackable shit.
Jesse Ventura. We have what? Unbackable?
True stories and unbackable shit. No. If you're questioning it, if there's a question in there,
let's call it.
We can do this. We can do this.
Wild Red.
We can do this.
Call it fate. Call it karma.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
You don't know what it's like out there. I've worked in the private sector. It's from Ghostbusters.
They're doing a new one.
Are you talking about the all-women one?
You don't need to say that. It's just Ghostbusters. No, I don't know.
The original one was all men. This one's different, so to differentiate... like,
Black Ghostbusters.
Yeah. It's like you're not allowed... Actually, I'm not going to tell that story.
Oh, really? There was a good story there.
There was a moment when I was young and accidentally racist. Not racist, just super awkward.
Oh.
Because I was like, I'll just tell it. It was when I first moved to New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was like the first week, and I was talking to this guy in the dorm who's a black guy. And I'm from Albuquerque. You don't have black people here. I
Right.
didn't talk to a lot of black people growing up. Me and him were trying to describe another guy to a guy. And this guy we were trying to describe was a black guy.
Yeah.
So I was describing everything about him except that he was black.
Right.
And the dude, Stacy was his name, the guy, which I only remember that because it was a guy named Stacy, which is super rough. But the guy I was talking to is Stacy, and he just looked at me. He's like, I listed like 6 things. He's like this tall. I think his eyes are like brown, like all this shit. It's like, the guy just looks at me. He's like, he's also black. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know if I should say. I just kind of trailed off and walked away. It was pretty rough. But there you go.
Oh, man. No, it's true. In New Mexico, it's not. Like, where I grew up was, like, pretty small town, and there's not, like, black people per se. There's, like, Africans, like, African-Americans, people from Africa. We grew up with one Nigerian cat, and, I don't know. It was just, hey, you're one of us, I guess, out here in the middle of nowhere.
Just another lost soul in the desert.
Right? Yeah, no kidding. On a horse with no name.
You meet like African long distance runners train here.
It's a good place to train.
Well, lots of long distance runners train here, but lots of long distance runners are African.
Right.
And so you'll see like a guy that looks like a mummy running down the street, like super skinny. Like he's like sprinting, but he's on his like 38th mile. He's winded, you know?
Barely breaking a sweat. There's like maybe like one just trailing down his.
And I can't even run that fast when I'm below sea level for 100 meters. You know what I'm saying?
What dash are you training for? Dash.
Yeah. You ask him a question, he's just like.
Can you yell that? Probably. I feel like you can.
Click so loud.
I feel like you can yell anything though. But if you've been practicing it your whole life, maybe your clicking sounds get better as you like. The more you practice, Oh man! Speaking of practice, I'm out of practice. I gotta do this tile job for a family member.
Yeah.
And so we had to like unload all this tile like. And other stuff. It was like 2,200 pounds of shit. And after I got everything off the truck, we still had to repile it on the pallet. But by the time I got everything off the truck, I was like noodling everything. Yeah. I was just like, that's it. But I used to work for this company, and we used to. I mean, I've laid like, if not hundreds, at least.
Oh yeah, laid hundreds.
maybe thousands of tile. Yeah.
Oh, tile. I thought you were gonna totally do it.
There's
Italian.
Italian.
Such good floors, bitches. We're all up on this dick, son. I thought that's the kind of thing we were doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that time we did the Playboy Mansion Jr. Is that like a thing? I don't know. He has like little places in different cities. The Playboy Mansion Jr.
Yeah, it's like Playboy East. Miami or something.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be a good place for it.
Anyway, what's your title?
Today, Monday, July 20th, 2015. Call it fate, call it karma. Just call it for dinner. This is the problem with everything.
Call it for dinner. Alright.
Why not?
Call like contact it to make dinner plans, you mean?
No, I was just saying for dinner. His name is going to be for dinner.
Oh, okay.
So, or his, hers, it's, I don't know, whatever, the noun that we're talking about.
For dinner is like a surname, so his name is Fate Karma for Dinner. Is the new character you're working on, or what?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was going with the Spanish naming scheme of like 15 names. Just 15, like a handful of syllables for just a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Like Picasso, he's got like 14 last names. Pretty great.
So, my weekend was kind of crazy with the whole FanFest thing.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was pretty crazy. mainly because I hadn't finished getting everything together. Like if you see, like it just seems my room is being taken over. But like
lots of comics,
like comics
and boxes.
And then stack of magazines. But yeah, got to take some stuff out, but was up until 5 a.m. and then got up at like 9 o'clock and then loaded everything up and sat there until about 5 o'clock when it was over.
Sweet Jesus.
But it was totally fun. Like there were a lot of people came out, a lot of people dressed up. It was cool to just be a part of it. It was really fun. Like how long have you known Josh Jones, the guy who put it on? Like, how long have you known about black market goods?
I'm not good with timelines. I don't know.
But,
I don't know. Pretty much right around when I met you, I think. Right around that.
So that would be you would have still been in the business then, right?
5 or 6. When was that? It was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
I can't even ballpark when that was.
See, I thought the first one I went to was like 2010, but that's not. That was like it was like way before that. So yeah, I guess like 06.
Something like that.
Damn, that's almost like 9 years. Holy shit. But the reason I was asking that is because I remember like the first one I went to was up in the Heights, the first BMG thing, and I didn't know what it was. I don't even remember how I found out about it. Like I just ended up going and I was like, this is cool. And it was kind of like just in an empty like like a strip mall or something, and it was just like an empty store. And so they rented it out for the night, I guess, and did like an art show.
Yeah, it was always weird. He always would do stuff in like offices that had nothing going on. There's always these weird like abandoned areas when there was still like stuff left there, like phones, like weird 80s like multi-line business phones and just weird shit like weird bathroom situations. There's always interesting places.
Until they got the space for a while. And then
that
was like,
was cool. It was the stove. And
that's right. Yeah, the stove.
Saw some cool
Holy
shit. It was the stove.
Yeah.
That dude, I don't remember his name. I know he had a piece when they did the graffiti art thing downtown.
Yeah.
At 516 Gallery, and then they did murals all around downtown area. I know he did one of those. But I don't remember his name. But he was the guy that ran the stove, and he does like awesome found art. And, like he finds this like little knickknacks.
I think I've seen that guy's art.
Crazy sculptures out of them and shit.
That's rad.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty sweet. The stove, man.
And then the stove became black market goods. For,
right.
I don't know, like 6 months or something.
That was almost a year. Yeah. It didn't. It feels longer because like. I don't remember the first show that I saw there, but I know we performed there a lot in like 2010, and I recorded the strings there in the space for the holiday sale album, and so that was pretty interesting. So we were having a discussion earlier. Is that the end of that story?
Sure.
I don't know. We were going down BMG memory lane. That's what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so just to see how it's changed, like over the years of like, you know, just being randomly in office buildings and then kind of having a space and then going back to that a little bit, this was like cool. This was like...
Where was it?
It was in like one of the ballrooms at the Doubletree, or...
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I guess it was a ballroom.
Week.
Yeah.
It's all coming back to me.
I got oxygen back to my brain. Hang on. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. So just to see how it's grown too, like how many people showed up, like that was ridiculous. I mean,
it's awesome.
Of course that's like kind of like hitting it out of a ballpark, but and then like people are like, we want to do it next year, and why not? Like start doing it every year. Like now that Ace is gone or whatever, I guess I didn't even know they were gone, but I guess they are. Albuquerque Comic Expo or
we have a couple, don't we? There's like a couple comic expos that happen during this.
Wizard is gonna like happen
Wizard
later on, like I guess in August maybe. Like it's just gonna be panel, you know, it's just the usual thing, panels and
I've
stuff
never
to buy.
been to any sort of con.
Really?
Seems cool. I would go.
Should just start your own. What would you? Okay, if you could just have a con of any kind,
Limp
just as
Bizkit con.
you're
Fred Durst impersonators. There's a guy in Germany who kind of looks like Fred Durst, so he decided he should probably go out and get all his tattoos and become a professional Fred Durst impersonator. So fucking dumb. Why would you do that?
You could do new metal con and just have impersonators of all the bands.
Yeah. I guess. But we could probably get Papa Roach to play it.
The real one.
Although they're like emo now. They're like screamo metal or something now. I don't even know.
Oh, so then that segues really good into this question of like, have you heard anything lately that like gets you super stoked?
Music-wise?
Yeah, music-wise. Like, I remember, I mean, obviously we're never going to have that, like, 15-year-old kid, like, reaction to
Chasing
shit
the
anymore.
dragon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, want to talk about drugs.
Dead. Like, the dream is over. Yeah.
But...
no.
That's honest.
Yesterday I was walking through a room at work and they had Cage the Elephant was playing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a song I'd heard by them before, but I was like, is this Cage the Elephant? Because all their songs sound like this. And I know, like, I don't dislike it, but...
Yeah.
And I think I'm just old. I think it's just like
It doesn't feel very inspired, though. I mean, you've heard the Black Keys, right?
Yeah, but neither is anything I like, really. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like... It's like, well, it's not Limp Bizkit, so... Where it's like the guys in like the 90s that were like, I don't know about this Limp Bizkit. It's not Ted Nugent, you know? Like, I feel like that's where I'm at. Like, it's over. Like, I'm just that old guy. It's like that Bill Burr bit where he's like, back in my day, you dressed like a woman and you sang about the devil. And that was music. You had 10 songs per album and one of them was a ballad. And that was music.
That was music. I'm like thinking of all the Poison Rat, Cinderella shit, man. I can't even. There's so many Wasp.
But that's pretty much how it feels. It's just like Smashing Pumpkins are on like the classic rock channel now. Shit's over. It's over.
There's nothing to get excited about.
Yeah, my hair is gray. I have nothing left to offer. That's it. It's done.
Save your seed, man. Save your seed.
I don't know. I don't know that the world needs my DNA. You know?
I think you're part of the human registry, so they have to.
Yeah.
They're gonna RFID you now, and then go ahead and steal some of your seed. Probably while you're not mostly unconscious.
Chemtrails, man.
Chemtrails. Oh my god.
Jerry Bear came to me in a vision, man. Who told me about chemtrails, man?
You don't want to start a cult? You could start a cult.
I could start a cult. But I mean, if I could figure out how to get people to listen to this podcast, for example.
Right. You'd be good at starting a cult.
Right. So I don't know if I have that skill.
Maybe they need the human touch from you.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I need one of those cults where it's like a year in, I explain to everyone why I need to fuck their wives. It's very reasonable.
I think you're missing the real important thing here. I am going to sleep with your wife, and you're not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you still can, as long as I don't, like, find out.
Right.
Which I will. For I am the Lord.
So you're going to say I'm not going to be a Nazi about it, but... But just in case you're wondering, there are cameras everywhere. You're listening to me, Holiday Rob, and this is the problem with everything. Wait, no, take two. Here we go. This is the problem with everything, and I'm Holiday Rob. Up next is a track called Mission Translation from a band that we used to be in called Bat Wings for Lab Rats. Wow.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even think of the name, apparently.
You could think of it, you just couldn't say it.
Up next.
Mission Translation? Is that the song? By Bat Wings for Lab Rats? Okay.
Hold up the hollow space, disgrace, this taste in my mouth. Won't wash out, gotta zoom past down. Put the microphone up to my mouth. Ignite the torch again for the next generation. Hold up high, the king will die. The rats will flee our cages. What if the sky falls? What if the sky falls? What if the sky? Shut the fuck up, receive the transmission. Translation, translate into language. Each second is now. Each moment is sacred. Receive the transmission. Translation, translate into language. Each second is now. Each moment is sacred. Somebody tell me the difference between love and addiction. Friction, fiction versus reality. How will we ever know which way to go? Won't slow down, so up your heart hole. More hills and bumps struggling down again. Beginnings and endings colliding. I'm biding my time to climb higher, so listen. This is my time to stick to my mission. Vision for love and my hateful sin. Tempest, your ways, tendency. Can't predict all that. I'm getting lightheaded. Headed down this round of bound. Can't get out, clouds try taking them falls. Mental holocaust is the full result. Killing my heart, just shut the fuck up. Receive the transmission. Mission, translation. Translate into language. Each second is now. Each moment is sacred. Receive the transmission. Mission, translation. Translate into language. Each second is now. Each moment is sacred. Mission, translation. 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 What if the sky falls? What if the sky falls? What if the sky falls?
But no, I don't. I'm actually occasionally a band that is old like me. A band from back in my day will come out with a new album.
Right.
The new Marilyn Manson album, The Pale Emperor, is fucking awesome. It's like the best since fucking like Hollywood.
Oh, really?
It's like, yeah, a return to form, you know?
Nice.
A tour de force.
I know somebody posted something about like 20. When was Children Smells Like Children? Like 94. Yeah. So they had a photo of him from 94.
Yeah.
The 20th anniversary or something, or of that, or 21st.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, man. Remember when rock and roll was scary?
Yeah, it's, and I don't know if it's like that same thing. I can't tell if I'm just old
Yeah.
and I'm over it,
Yeah.
or if everything is shittier,
It's shittier.
or both.
Well, okay, I can't speak for you personally, but it is shittier. It is quantifiably shittier. There is probably empirical evidence to show how shitty it is.
But there's some badass stuff that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Janelle Monáe
Oh, yeah.
is fucking awesome. Kid Cudi, I like a lot.
I was listening to the first... Oh, yeah, I like Kid Cudi. I was listening to the first 3 Mastodon albums,
Yeah.
which are fucking amazing.
When did those come out?
That's like 2003. But, I mean, you know, I don't really like them, what they sound like now. But those 3 albums, those are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Mastodon.
So if you just want some metal to just like... Just sounds like people beating on pots and pans and...
I'm into like ambient metal, like Neurosis. You know Neurosis?
I know who they are. I don't think I've
Listen
ever
to
heard of them.
Neurosis.
I'm trying to think. Kind of like Opeth, like
Kinda.
That's kind of like drony, not quite drony, but more epic-y Epic-ish.
Yeah, the songs are
Epic-like.
like 7 to 12 minutes
Right,
long.
right.
And they have long parts where it's just like a guitar and a baby crying, like an acoustic guitar and a baby crying, you know, like that kind of shit.
Wow.
And then it comes back in with, you know, like that kind of just droning long, like that. Neurosis. That's not new though. That shit's been around. I first got into that when I was getting my side tattooed.
Yeah.
Leo at Stay Gold introduced me to Neurosis. He had it playing, and it was the best soundtrack to like the crazy endorphin rush of ribs tattooed. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Neurosis. Huh.
Look them up. Highly recommend it. Have you ever heard Porcupine Tree? They're kind of like a contemporary Pink Floyd in a way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
like
cool.
English rock trippy.
Yeah.
I recommend. I've been listening to that shit. Have you heard Dalek?
D-A-I-L-E-K.
An A with an umlaut. Dalek.
Huh.
It's
I don't know. I
like
feel like I have.
ambient hip hop.
Yeah.
It's like atmospheric samples that like create an audio world, but it's at the same time kind of like lo-fi, and like, and then it has like the lyrics are kind of nestled under the atmosphere. So it's not like commercially produced sound where it's like super clean and then there's the voice.
Everything's
on top of
loud.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of like they have an album that's like one 40-minute song, and it's just like this droning, like changing, epic poem.
That sounds amazing. I listened to this. There is this new thing that I have been listening to. I don't know if it's like guys or guy or just whoever, but it's Vessels.
Yeah.
And they sound exactly in just a more like down tempo, like dance beat ish way, like that. Like they sound like lo-fi, but they don't have any lyrics. I mean, a couple of their songs do, but like they don't. Most of it's just like instrumental.
Wait, what are they called?
Vessels is what they're called.
Vessels.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's crazy. It's like that is something new that I've heard, but that it bums me out. I just can't seem to find like I want. It's like so Chasing the Dragon. I want like what I felt the first time I like had all my Rancid albums or whatever. You know, like
I want that feeling where you wait for something to come out and then you like look at the art while you listen to the whole thing, and that's what you're doing.
right.
You know?
And I used like now I can do it more by choice since I don't have to see the band, but I try not to like. I liked not knowing all the time what people looked like listening to music. I don't know. That was just a thing I liked. Like, and so I still do that. I find myself doing that now anyway. Like, I won't know what people look like until I either have to know for some reason or I'm going to go to a show or something. But it doesn't matter, you know? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just the dream is dead for me. I just see through the theatrics or whatever. I guess.
Yeah.
Like I was watching Korn, like a live Korn show from 2013.
yeah.
Like, it was fine, but it just let's get through our songs. Like, and like John Davis looks somewhat into it. Like, it looks like they're having fun, but it's like they're working. Like it's not. Like when I was a kid, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's because Korn has been around for 20 years now.
Right.
Or if it was the same when I was a kid and I just bought the lie. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to Cottonmouth King shows like 6 hours early to like hope they would talk to me before the show. Which they pretty much always did, which was awesome because they're super cool like that. But it's like, and then I tried to do the thing, like with the band and all that shit, and now it's just like, there's no magic there. I just know that they're like some assholes saying what you want to hear about pot because it'll sell. Like, and not the. I mean, I still like them. I'm not trying to talk shit.
Right.
It's just the magic isn't there. Like, I don't believe anything any of these people are purveying as their image anymore. It's just fucking. Yeah, I'm not lying.
I don't know. I think there's some somewhat sincere shit. Like, people who just don't have to worry about that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some cool shit. Larry and his flask.
Oh my god,
still
that
kicking.
is so awesome.
And
Those guys are phenomenal.
And they seem to be getting bigger.
See, there's that kind of stuff that's like amazing. It's not the stuff you're ever gonna see, like, you know.
Yeah, call to action.
TV, radio.
If you haven't heard Larry and his flask, pause this shit, Google Larry and his flask, and then come back. Welcome back.
They are phenomenal.
Yeah, didn't you enjoy that? Yeah, it's like mountain punk or something.
Yeah.
Like hillbilly, like washboards and like upright, without shoes, wearing overalls type music.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The Go Ahead Collective from Albuquerque. I don't know if you ever
I have not
seen it. They usually do like
don't go.
house shows.
Yeah.
They're just all like, I don't know, teenage and early 20 kids who are just like, we're just gonna do a network where we do house shows with other bands, like similar artists from like all over the place, and then they all play in bands too, and it's pretty cool. Like, I was super impressed. I hung out with them. I don't know. I just hung out to see what it was all about for a bit, and it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, like, I'm somewhat inspired by that kind of shit, but I feel kind of like I'm like Howard Stern trying to deal with podcasts in a way. Like, I'm like left in the old paradigm a little bit, where like I want a CD to come out on a Tuesday of my band, and for it to hit store, like, whereas they're just like grassroots doing it for the love, and I'm like, no, I want to sell out. That would be success if I could just sell out. If my face was on a CD at Target, then I would feel better about my life.
Right.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, I was gonna. Oh, you could sell vinyl. I mean, vinyl's like the new.
Vinyl, yeah.
Yeah, right. I know it's always those guys, but
It
like,
sounds better on vinyl, man. Which is true, but
you sell 200 of those, but you can sell them at like a hot price. I don't know. I don't know how to make it work. We're like, the only reason Quietly Kept keeps going is just, it's putting on the facade, kind of. Like, here I am gonna like talk about the facade and shit, but kind of is. You're just like, we're just two nice kids who like to play some family friendly, fun music. Not totally, but
selling.
Right. But because I think the topic has come up not like necessarily just within the Quietly Kept realm, but in general of like starting a cover band or being part of a cover band, and like
actually make money. Yeah.
Isn't that sad? That's sad. That's really fucking sad. Like, we get treated like a jukebox sometimes. Like, people just keep fucking asking, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know this? Do you know that?
We played with them outside of Gallup at that lake. Over the Limit.
Over the Limit?
Like, badass cover band. They played, like, Black Eyed Peas and fucking...
I don't remember.
Like, Steve Miller Band and, like, just all over the place, like, hits of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. But, like, a live band. I think they were called Over the Limit.
Really?
We played with them. Remember
how
that?
many? I don't.
Lake,
I remember the lake.
Main.
I remember the Old Main, and I remember, what's his name, Kenta's band that was on.
Yeah,
the kind
High Iron, or was that before High? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember what anybody else's name was that night. I just remember.
But anyway, they were probably the most successfully, like, paid, like, regularly working band of any band
that night.
Played that day. And
yeah.
And I'm not saying taking anything away from them, because
no,
they're badass.
No,
like,
they're good. But
they kick out the jams.
Yeah.
Like, all those songs they nail. But it's just kind of sad. Like, there's no place for...
What you're selling is not for sale. or nobody wants to buy it.
But I think that's what I'm saying. It's like we're looking at it wrong. Like we're stuck in like old man paradigm where it's like you gotta make it big. You gotta get discovered. You get like, or you have to DIY claw your way to the top. Like
before they let you in the club. Before they let you in the club, and then they'll be like, here you go, come my son, join us up here. You know, like the whole circle jerk of like Jay-Z's downloading service and all that kind of shit. Like, they have their own little club.
We have this idea of what's legitimate, you know?
Right.
And it's like playing house shows because it's the most fun thing ever. It isn't legitimate. You know, like we're jaded.
But did you sell? But did you sell out? Did you sell out the house?
I wish I could. I just want to sell out. Suck your dick. No, I will not suck your dick. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Don't edit this to make it say.
Oh, no. Don't give them the idea. Shit.
Oh, it's too bad it's not video and we got you behind a green screen. So many awful things would happen. Not on my account. I don't have time for those shenanigans.
I'm a serious adult.
I don't do anything but edit music videos for hip-hop people anyway. So
I was thinking about that Louis C.K. bit where he tells the kids, nothing you do matters. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, but wait, what? Does anything I do matter? Like, what I do matters less. Kids live in, like, a world where they have to answer to their imagination above all else.
Yeah.
Like, I live in a world where you must suppress your imagination in order to survive at all costs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, not related to this, but not related to things we were talking about before. I had a moment like that about the nothing you do is going to last thought.
Like, any art you make is going to fade away.
There was just, like, a video of, like, I guess, like, ISIS or one of those types of assholes, like, destroying, like, first human-created, you know,
why?
3 to 4,000, maybe 5, 6, who knows, you know, like, from the last 10,000 years.
Those guys suck.
I know, they're dicks. And I just sitting there, and, like, at first I just want to, like, start punching things, because, like, I don't care what you believe in. Don't fucking do that. Don't be that fucking asshole.
Yeah, well,
but then, I had to try and, like, talk myself down from it, and I was like, well, the sun is going to destroy everything in 6 billion years, so...
Really? Yeah. Yeah, but we'll probably, assuming we don't, like, completely destroy ourselves by killing the climate before we're able to, I think we'll probably build, like, rockets, like a arc of the, you know...
To go to the moon
Noah's
or what?
Ark kind of situation and escape the planet before the sun explodes.
Or to Mars.
Wherever, I mean...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I was reading the other day about, they're talking about how they're going to terraform Mars. Like, how it's doable.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, if they're talking about that now, that means they could probably do it 10 years ago.
Right.
So, you know.
You know what's weird about... Okay, so we're going to get super stupid scientific here for a moment. So apologies to those of you who have short attention spans, because it's going to get stupid.
Alright, I'll probably change subjects in like 45 seconds.
Right,
most,
right.
So.
But anyway, you know a couple things about Earth that probably make it habitable. We have a spinning core of nickel, supposedly. Like, just a nickel core that is spinning.
Shit.
It's super dense, heavy, you know, and it like moves the planet. It moves the planet, and it causes something called the magnetosphere. Mm-hmm. The magnetosphere is like what keeps radiation from just like cooking our planet. It's just like this huge... It's what you see the northern lights is like the radiation hits the magnetosphere, and then it like goes and then it hits our atmosphere, and it... So I don't know. I feel like I've read something, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a headline that I misread or something. But that like Mars doesn't have like a core like ours, like it, or they think that's why it's kind of dead, like that its core doesn't spin. Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
How did these things happen? How did these planets all get into this like little like cluster anyway? We were just like fucking balls of shit flying around and then hit each other, and then we're just like, oh, hey, the sun's the heaviest thing. I guess we'll just stick around that shit.
Random chance, according to the prevailing religious paradigm of the time known as science. But
Science.
I don't, you know.
Well, I don't doubt that like part of existence, life is just an event, is one of the many eventualities. So it doesn't like escape me that on a probabilistic level that us being here wouldn't be a thing. That
It's
would just
like the idea that anything that can happen happens, you know. So we can happen, obviously. So eventually, in some version of the existence, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe not us specifically, but just in general, it was going to happen, you know? That's my, like, I don't know, Rob's deep thought of the day.
And then, like, the idea, like, the like multiverse, where, like, every decision that anything or anyone ever makes creates another universe, had they done something different.
Right.
Like if I cut my hand off right now, like just thinking that just created a universe where I right now chop off my right hand, and then whatever happens in the world from that point is like a divergent reality that also exists.
Because you follow through with it this time. You're like, oh, it's time to cut off the hand.
But these guys at like Oxford or Stanford or Harvard or one of those ERDs, one of them ERD schools, discovered or proved, I guess, their theory that there's tubes of plasma around the Earth, like invisible plasma tubes, and they don't know what they do, but they somehow proved that they're there.
I kind of heard about that. Like, I don't, plasma tubes.
I just, like, they're talking about, like, straight up Geordie LaForge, like, blind people can see now shit. They're talking about, these people made these earbuds that let you EQ the world. Basically.
Right. Block out certain sounds or...
Yeah, so if there's, like, a kid crying on a plane, you can just turn the kid off.
That'd be amazing.
Like, I hear about, like, something crazy like this daily. Like, fuck. This shit is so weird out there.
Science!
Yeah, like talk about feeling old, feeling like the guy that wants Limp Bizkit to be Ted Nugent, now that I want Cage the Elephant to be Limp Bizkit. You know, and like, talk about feeling old. Like, my actual, like, physical hardware, even when I was at my prime, when I was 23 years old or whatever, your physical prime, like, even that will have been obsolete in a few years. You know what I mean? Because everyone's going to have bionic everything. Like,
right.
And then, like, how are they going to fucking regulate, like, PEDs in sports, like performance-enhancing drugs? Because it's already a problem that you just change the molecule slightly and then they can't test for it or whatever. So, like, what are they going to do when people can, like, make their fingers longer so they can catch footballs better? You know, like, what the fuck? It's going to be crazy.
Are you going to have, like, street geneticists? Like, people just out there all, hey, man, what do you want? What do you want? I can give you anything.
Yeah, dude. You have, like, black market implants of cybernetic whatever. Like,
that'd be pretty insane.
Have, like, the janky cricket phone version of enhanced vision, so your shit won't work as well as the iPhone version.
If that's the case, you won't have to die, really. They'll just upload your brain onto a computer.
Right. Well, that's what, what's his face? Ray Kurzweil is pretty sure that's happening before he dies.
I would love to do that. That would be cool.
Would you, though? Wouldn't it be like the classic, like, vampire Lestat, tortured, immortal figure, eventually?
You know, I'm willing to take that chance. You only get to live once.
Right, but what if it's the curse, you know? What if it's the guy in the Twilight Zone? I finally have time to read my books. You break your glasses.
It probably is. There's a reason you die. There's probably a really good reason why you die.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, what if, like, being alive, once you hit, like, year 700, you just go insane? It's like being awake for 3 days. You know what I mean? Being alive for 7 centuries, you're considered legally insane. Like, they have to make a law that at year 700, you have to get shut down. Like, too many people went crazy and tried to take over the whole net, Lawnmower Man style. We can't have that shit. Like,
oh, God. You're listening to The Problem with Everything.
Yeah.
And we have just gone into full awesome sci-fi deep space insanity.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Shit is weird.
I think on that note, there's this great quote in this movie that I can't think of what the name is, and I can't think of who the guy is that narrates it. It's such a great starting point. So Antarctica. It's a German director who's always talking hilariously in his sometimes, or he was on the Boondocks and he was hilarious on that. But I think it's like At the Edge of the World or whatever.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name either.
But there's this like great quote at the end of it where it's saying that we're the universe looking back at itself or experiencing itself.
Right.
And I just like that because I had said that one time to this girl I knew from China, and she was like, she just like left, like at 17, left China, came to America, has just been like couch surfing. Like she had a boyfriend for a bit, but
do not have that kind of ball sack. That's crazy.
It's amazing, huh? And so she's just been living here, going to school. Like she'll just go like I guess for like a year or semester to a school, and then transfer to the next one and go live there, and just experiencing everything, just like checking shit out and like learning about things. And one time I was like, yeah, man, I was like, there's like more connections in the brain than there are known stars in the universe, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, it's crazy. We're like manifests of the universe. We're like, you can't predict
As above,
us.
so below. As they say. Yeah, man. Microcosm, macrocosm. We are the world, if you will.
We are the universe.
We are the neurons.
We are the atoms that are going to get some shit done. But yeah, so that like concept kind of made sense to me in that context of like, man, I wish I could remember that guy's name. Now I'm gonna have to look it up because that is stupid that I can't think of what his name is.
It's like the whole like The Secret thing, like the whole Oprah, like watching Oprah being a housewife, being like, I just have to manifest my reality. Like, yeah, there's some silly like woo-woo horse shit to it, but like facts like that, like our brains are more complex than the whole goddamn universe. Like that's like a hologram, you know what I mean? That's like more information than you can fit in a 2D plane being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know how to describe it, but I'm saying like there's got to be something to that, like you can think your reality,
right?
Thing. Like obviously, it's not everything you do determines your reality, or babies wouldn't die in drive-bys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, there's something to that shit. I notice if I like today, for example, I awoke early. And I worked out, which I haven't done for a couple weeks, and I've been eating like Arby's and shit. Just really packing in
the American suicide hack.
Sitting there like masturbating with horseradish sauce and crying while I stuff the hamburger in my face with my other hand. You know what I mean? Just real sad.
To quiet the sobbing.
Yeah. So today I was like, I'm going to work out. And obviously working out for one day didn't change my physical anatomy to make me feel better. But I feel better because I started the day on a positive note. So I'm saying there's some truth to that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think the people that are making like what the bleep do we know, like understand what they're trying to say yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're getting there. We're figuring it out. But science and like religion need to come together on that shit. And we're getting there. We're gonna figure it out, I think. Maybe when we upload our brains into a computer, we'll get the God mode cheat code and we'll all be happy. That'd be great.
That'd be creepy because you could feel other people's existence with your existence. Huh. So I wonder if it's slippery. Encounters at the End of the World by Werner Herzog.
Herzog.
That's
Herzog.
Yeah, that's the film, and that's the quote at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert, ruined the movie for you.
Say the quote again.
Guess what? He goes to Antarctica.
What was the quote?
It's where the manifestation of where the universe experiencing itself.
Right.
This is Holiday Rob, and you're listening to The Problem with Everything. Up next is a track called Better Than by a band that I was in once upon a time, Holiday Sale.
Ooh, I like them.
The words I meant to say right to your face as you were walking out my door. I was waiting just for you to turn around and call my name, but I won't wait here anymore. In the morning when I wake up, will you still be there? I've been thinking about those times she said I never cared and I never was there, but I know you today more than you will ever know. I learned so much about you. I hold on today more than I ever want to show. I love something about you. It's the thing that keeps you from falling down when you think you're out of touch. I was sitting by the phone waiting for you to call me, but I won't wait here anymore. In the morning when I wake up, will you still be there? I've been thinking about those times she said I never cared and I never was there, but I know you today more than you will ever know. I learned so much about you. I hold on today more than I ever want to show. I love something about you. In the morning when I wake up, will you still be there? Been thinking about those times she said I never cared and I never was there, but I know you today more than you will ever know. I learned so much about you. I hold on today more than I ever want to show. I love something about you. I hold on today. I hold on
Well, that's like the theory of like, you know, like you want to go into like Christianity or whatever, but,
Right.
which I think is a perfectly fine metaphor if you take it as that.
Right.
You don't get all crazy with it and try to burn gay people to death and shit. Make sure women don't read books or whatever, but the idea of like man is created in the image of God. Like if God is the organizing principle that makes sunflowers grow the way they do and makes babies for the most part have 5 fingers on each hand,
Right.
we are made in that self-replicating
Fashion.
Yeah.
Right.
We're an outgrowth of God, right? So we're made in the image of God. Like that's what that is.
So you're going to say, I mean, just kind of going off of that a little bit, you're going to say we probably we knew a lot of things that we're just finding out now through science, possibly.
You're saying like we have known. Like,
I don't know. I feel like there's been some information that people have known, and it's just gotten lost in either just as time goes on. I mean, we didn't have ways to document this shit for like, until somebody thought like, hey, I can hit some rocks and shit. And
or
leave a
maybe they have
message.
ways to document it
that are
we
gone,
don't even know.
or that are gone too, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
but like we probably knew some of this shit. We got it. People had it together for a minute, and then I don't know. The guys who didn't want to give it up were like, let's keep doing this stupid shit.
Well, there's like the theories of like Lemuria and Atlantis and that kind of shit, which I don't fucking know. Who knows,
Right.
I don't want to get into chemtrail territory yet.
Put your tin hat on. It's chemtrail
But the
territory
idea
time.
that there have been highly developed societies that have then fallen and we'd had to rebuild again.
Right.
Like, that seems perfectly reasonable to
Plausible,
me.
yeah.
Like,
it's
what is...
plausible, yeah.
We don't know what Egypt is. They're telling us it's tombs, but, I don't know about all that. I've read some shit, bro. I don't know if the official story on Egypt is legit. Graham Hancock, I recommend checking that shit out.
On what, YouTube or just
anywhere. Just
Professor
type
Google?
Graham Hancock into Google.
Just ask Professor Google.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Professor Google.
Learn some shit about some ancient sites and whatnot that we just cannot explain. That the establishment man doesn't want you to know about.
Who's they? Who is they? It's all, I love the they. Someone was asking how to deal with the schizophrenic. Might not be good to mention they, but unless you can get on their side about they, you might be able to deal with the schizophrenic.
Interesting.
Because, this is just my theory. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever had to deal long term with a schizophrenic before.
Yeah.
Maybe just a momentary. Okay, cool. I had to clean up like a hoarder house, a hoarder apartment that a schizophrenic lived at. He lived at with like a couple of meth heads, and they
Sounds
just
like there's probably some treasures there.
oh man, they just had tons of shit. There was so much stuff in there.
Literal shit? Or-
Like no, just like things they had stolen. Like I think there was a security VCR from an Albertsons or something, and there were bike wheels. Anything they thought they could sell. There were some nasty ass dishes that had like black gunk cooked to the bottom of them. Like it was gnarly. Like in fact, when you walked in there, you couldn't even touch the floor. It was just like there was just a layer of shit on top, like just garbage and detritus and detritus. Is it detritus or detritus? I like detritus. It sounds like a metal band. Detritus. Like a scream singing metal.
Detritus Rock City.
Look into the sands of time.
Dude, Kiss is terrible. I don't understand.
Why
I know
anybody
it's
likes them?
complete out of
No,
left
it's okay.
field tangent,
Let's go.
but
I'm
that
going
just
with
popped
this. Let's
into
go
my
with this.
head.
Yeah.
Why does anyone like Kiss? They're like, we're talking about the magic being gone.
Right.
They're the fakest, most like disgenuine. I don't know if disgenuine's a word, but you know what I'm saying. That shit, like, why does anyone like Kiss? They're the worst. They're like, Kiss is worse than AC/DC. I say. At least AC/DC has some pretty catchy riffs. That
Yeah, they're pretty rocking.
Yeah.
They've got some good moments.
I can't stand AC/DC.
Really? Is it the vocalist? Is
stand
it
them more
the cheesy rock?
It's everything about them.
The cheesy rock and roll
Yeah.
Riffs.
Yeah,
Like-
but I'll admit, like, the riff to Back in Black is, like, good,
Right,
and
right.
it needs to exist for music to exist as it does today.
It's not totally ripping off the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin.
No, it was its own version of that. I think but I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just so bad. Like, I don't. Why are you singing like that? But then, I like metal where people scream and growl. So it's all
like which
personal
kind of
preference.
screaming? Like,
I don't know, dude.
you ever heard anal cunt, right?
Yeah.
So one guy's like, and the other guy's like, just
I
like
haven't listened to
weird.
them in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know, but they have. I don't know. It probably is not going to sound that good in people's ear holes, but
Anal cunt has like I think several songs. They might even have a whole album that attacks 311, just because 311 is all about like positivity and unity. So they just went after him, like just
Wow.
hate, like fuck 311 is like the name of the song, and like yeah, which is pretty awesome. I can commend Anal Cunt for that. Don't get me wrong, I love 311.
I never liked 311.
No.
They seemed like some of the fakest shit to me.
I'll admit that Nick Hexum, something's up with that guy. I think he's just gay, and that's the thing. Like, I think he's just super fabulous, and he's not out about it.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, I don't care. I think their music's awesome. He kind of gets on my nerves. The
Yeah.
other singer, S.A. Martinez,
Yeah.
is my hero. I love him so much. But yeah, I could see there seems to be.
It's just, I don't know. You know, I guess I'm like basing this only on the reggae shit. So like, I don't know. That for some reason that just like bugged me at the time, and I've just never.
Just like suburban white people from Omaha trying to play reggae.
Yeah. That's just.
Yeah, I could see
That's
that.
I don't know.
mean,
Because then I liked the ska thing for a while.
Yeah.
Like I liked that in the 90s. That was fun. And then fell off of that. And like now I can't really, like I was trying to watch a Save Ferris video, who's awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome. But like, I was just like, oh.
Letters to Cleo. They were cool too.
Holiday Sale got compared to them
I could
once.
see that.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I like Letters to Cleo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against the ska thing. I listen to like first and second wave shit, like Desmond Decker and Toots and the Maytals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I guess I get really picky about that kind of shit, which is probably why I'm not like the biggest Eminem fan. Like, I'm not saying he's not good, and I'm not saying he's not talented.
That's another one where they kind of came back recently with some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
you said his new album was good.
Yeah, dude. The Marshall Mathers LP 2. Check that shit out. I think it's the best album of his entire career.
Really?
And I don't even think it's close. Like, yeah.
You
It's
think he just
fucking
knocked it
awesome.
out of the park?
Yeah, it's like the perfect wrap up of like the whole like epic story of Marshall Mathers. You know, like
Nice.
the whole like rise to fame and being controversial and. All
But
that
you
shit.
have that feeling because you've listened to the other albums
I've
too,
been
right?
there for the ride, but
Yeah.
the last couple I haven't liked much.
Yeah.
Like Recovery was okay, like, but it was kind of just turning out hits. It felt like,
Right.
like there was talent and it was fine, but it didn't have the magic that we speak of. But this new one, it has La Fuerza, you know? It's fucking.
So I don't know, like maybe talking about good art, but is good art like to you, and should it be? Because I would agree too, like about putting something of yourself into it, like something about
I think
whatever you are, what's going on, or whatever.
honesty.
Yeah.
Somehow, which I know sounds ridiculous coming from me when I've just been talking about like Limp Bizkit and shit. But to me, being unapologetically that is the honest thing. Like,
But there was a time when like quote unquote new metal and rock and rap metal and all that, you know, whatever, however you want to like put that together. But those bands,
yeah,
that was pretty legitimate. I mean,
Innovative.
where were we gonna go? You know, from this awful '80s hair metal bullshit, and then the whole like hip hop.
like you
influence.
can't tell me Limp Bizkit's not better than Poison or Cinderella or whatever.
Right.
Like, come on, like you really can't make that argument.
I guess that just really ties to whenever the first time you were trying to put your hands up.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's like the world doesn't get worse; you just get old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But I think I mean, there's things that can be said about that time, but production-wise, I don't like 80s music. I don't like how it sounds. It sounds like tinny bullshit. And part of it was because people have said it was mastered for, like, you know, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
But overall, I just don't like the fake drums, and I really don't like the new... the new... Oh, my God. Phil Collins. Come on, you're killing me, man.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
And the thing is, some of these songs are incredibly written
That's a good
songs.
song.
They're incredibly written songs, but they sound like shit in the original recordings. You know, like I was.
Well, it's like that when Metallica tried to pretend they were a garage band again. Like, we're not millionaires. Listen to how bad our snare sounds. We're legit again, right? We didn't try to sue Napster. Forget about that. Like, that was the same. Those songs were fine, but the production was AIDS. Like, just filthy gonorrhea AIDS all over that production. So I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about the 80s, though. And people are always like, you just irrationally hate the 80s. And I'm like, yeah, that too. But
Yeah. But...
Oh, shit, man. How we doing? How we doing on time?
It's probably about that time. Let me see if I can find a tongue twister for us.
Yes. Tongue twisters, twirly twat to you, tie.
So I know I've spoken of it before, but I am going to attempt to actually get this podcast on like iTunes so people will maybe hear it.
That'd be great.
I don't know, but I feel like we should get guests and know what we're talking about. So. I don't know.
We're gonna try this winging it thing a couple more times, and then we'll bring on I don't know, someone.
Maybe we can get that guy that played Carlton.
That'd be amazing.
I saw this thing, and it's a great idea. And if I were, fucking Carlos Mencia type, I would just take credit for this idea. But it's not my idea. I saw it somewhere on the internet. A sequel show or movie to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with his shitty son playing the main character.
Oh.
Where he's playing the son of the guy from The Fresh Prince who grows up in shitty Bel-Air world and gets sent by his mom to West Philadelphia to learn the real world. Right?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Who came up with this idea?
I think I saw it on Reddit. It was just like someo's idea.
Oh my god!
And they put like a picture of Will and Jaden.
Jaden, yeah.
Yeah, like together and like, it's like that'd be awesome. Like I don't know if that kid can act. I've heard he can't, so I'm sure it would be terrible.
Oh man, After Earth was rough.
Yeah.
Like
is that the one with both of them?
It was rough. Like at first I watched it and I was like trying to be sympathetic to him and be like, "No man, it's cool," like. And then like I watched it again and I was like, "No, that was just shit."
It sucks to be Will Smith's son. It's hard,
Whatever. Dude, can you imagine, like you're lucky if your parents gave you a car. These parents are like giving their kids movies and like record fucking
but it's
contracts
like,
and shit.
You have no hunger in life. Like, what can you do? Like, you're expected to follow in the footsteps of greatness, but there's no struggle to make you awesome.
Right.
Like, Will Smith was like bankrupt right before
Fresh
Prince came out. Yeah. Like, you need that to fucking. I mean, maybe not everyone, whatever. Like,
no, but I don't. I mean,
Cher's son, Dead Z, Elijah Ullman. I like his band.
Yeah,
he grew up in.
I'm trying to think of this actress. Shit, she's married to David Cross. Come on.
Oh, Jesus. You give me brain aids. I can never remember things.
Wow. Am I really not going to remember this? I just was thinking about... So anyway, she wrote this book because she grew up in that whole, California... Like, well, let's just put it this way. Amber Tamblyn. Amber Tamblyn grew up grew up in California, like... kind of in an industry family. Like her dad knew, Dennis Hopper and those guys. Like he was around when they were doing movies like Easy Rider and stuff like that. So she tried to do she did the acting thing. She didn't try. I thought, for whatever I've seen of her, she succeeded. But she wrote this book about of poetry, and it's called Dark Sparkler, and it's freaking insane, man. It's about like all the child stars that have like never made it to like 45 or 40 or something like that. Like who have died young. It is very dark, and there's even like one to
for every Ricky Schroeder that came out of it somewhat on top of his shit. There's I don't know 200 fucking Lindsay Lohans,
right?
Or even worse than that. Like they don't even have anything. Like they're just crackheads now. You know what I mean? Like they don't get to go on celebrity rehab about it or whatever. Like,
right. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. And she had to do like research. She had to like find out about these people because like they're I don't know. It's super awesome, super dark, but I see somebody there who's like been part of this thing who could like never outdo whoever. Like maybe in a what we would consider a successful way as being like, you know, rich or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Dad was a millionaire because he was a director, but I'll never be a great director. But she did something else which was like really look into the world that she was a part of and really did something cool with that. And so I was pretty impressed with that. I mean, she is like near 30, so maybe.
So was she the daughter of somebody?
Yeah, he was
Tamplin?
like he was like a producer or a
that
director or an actor. I think he was an actor.
Jeffrey? Is that
Possibly.
am I in the ballpark? I'm feeling a J, a G.
There's
It's your
really
grandmother. Your mother. I'm trying to cold read this shit. Trying to go John Edwards style in this motherfucker.
there was a J sound. There's a J. Yeah, her dad was actually on Twin Peaks. Russ, he was at Russ.
Oh yeah, he played. Wes Tamplin was the shrink on Twin Peaks.
I don't know why I can't
With
picture
the
him.
beard, and he
Yeah.
had the two different colored glasses, and he wore like Hawaiian shirts and like weird.
I'm gonna have to watch
Suspenders
Twin
and
Peaks
shit.
again. I love Twin Peaks, man. I just like. I'm not like one of those people who's like, oh my god, David Finch is a great, or David Finch was good too, but David Lynch, you know, is
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
God.
I don't know that much David Lynch stuff. Really,
Um,
but I love.
You ever
Twin
watched
Peaks.
Mulholland Drive?
I have not.
Have you
I know
ever
I'm supposed to.
seen the
Blue Velvet?
I barely, I just barely watched that. So
I've
when
seen Dune, and
oh man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that before.
but I know he doesn't like Dune.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I wonder if it got wrestled out of his hands and somebody
It
re-edited it.
seems like it. I think it's supposed to be like an hour longer than it is. Kind of one of those kind
Yeah.
of deals. Yeah.
I don't. Why are people afraid of long movies? Fuck it. Like if you don't.
Not now. Now you have
Right.
to have like an hour and a half of extra CGI shit for anyone to take it seriously.
Oh man.
Which is weird. That's like a weird like.
Are you having
You wouldn't
CGI?
think-
Do you have CGI fatigue? I have CGI fatigue.
I do.
I
Yeah.
get-
I hear in the new
so
Star
sick of
Wars they're doing more practical effects.
I heard that too. I saw a video about that.
All right, I'm gonna do a couple of these things here.
Make it so.
I'd be defeating a beef-eating beef-eater. I'd be defeating a beef-eating beef-eater. So it's someone who feeds bees and eats beef, who I would be defeating.
Wait, say it again. I'd be.
I'd be defeating a beef-eating beef-eater. Then I'll do a second one.
Was that because anybody was drinking that? Was it a gin or something? Beefeater is. It's like
No, I don't
such
even
shitty
know.
gin.
I think we were cooking steaks or something, and beef eater came into my head, and then beef eater, and then my weird brain just took over. Here's another one. Dude, a new diss, a nudist Anubis.
I feel like you did that one.
Did I?
Yeah, I feel like you've done that one.
I think I might have done it last week.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I like it. Dude, a new diss, a nudist Anubis.
Nudist Anubis. What's an Anubis?
An Anubis is a dog creature who
that's
guides
right.
the dead in ancient Egyptian mythology to the land of the dead. He's like your soul's guide to the afterlife.
He's
he
like-
takes you across the river.
He's like that. Was it Johnny Cash in The Simpsons when he's talking to Homer?
I don't know.
Really? Hang on, we're gonna look that up because I think it's Johnny Cash. He's like a giant dog in the sky. Like Homer's
Okay.
tripping on those peppers. He's tripping on some
Okay,
like
that's yeah.
peppers that he ate, and
Yeah, but
there's an Anubis like being.
So it's like a new diss. If you saw someone doing something nefarious or shady, you'd be like, "Man, look at this nudist Anubis." You know?
Right?
I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, but
I don't
it
know.
doesn't have to. Fuck you.
It's a tongue twister. What? You say tongue twisters that mean something all the time?
Yo, watch BoJack Horseman. There's awesome tongue twisters in the new season.
I'm excited.
Highly recommend.
I haven't even seen them yet. I'm super stoked.
All right, this has been fairly disjointed and.
I don't know. We talked about the point of existence
I'm not saying
and
bad. I'm just saying fairly disjointed.
and where music is not and is, and we don't know either. Apparently, I feel like that sometimes. I'm like so out of touch with things.
Right.
Hey, Kids, don't let Grandpa out of the house without pillows because he might fall and break his hip. And nobody wants that.
I remember when, right after high school, I went over to my buddy Paul's house, and we were trying to jam, right? And this guy, he was like their plumber or something, was over. It was a weird house. Like, yeah, their plumber or some shit was there, and he was going to jam with us. And he was like in his 40s, right? So he's like trying to play Cat Scratch Fever. And I'm trying to like be Fred Durst, and they're trying to play whatever hipster shit they were trying to play. But anyway, that's that guy, the guy trying to play Cat Scratch Fever, like stuck in my head. And that's when I feel old, I think of that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm that guy now. I'm stuck in my shitty old ways. My closed-minded paradigm. It's over. Fuck.
Maybe the brain just can't take anymore. Maybe it gets to a certain point, it's just been beat to death.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Beat into submission.
I honestly think that a lot of ideas are being recycled. I haven't seen anything I would call new. And that's just the way it is.
Does
so
it have to be new to be good, though?
I don't know.
If you play bluegrass really well, is that not okay? You know?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I guess it would
fine?
just depend. I don't know. I like bluegrass.
Make a good metal album. Does AC/DC suck because their 47th album that comes out next month sounds like their first 46 albums? Or are they awesome because they maintained that level of
quality?
Quality, yeah. Like, I don't know. It's all subjective. Anyway.
Well, this has been the problem with everything. Call it fate, call it karma. Just don't forget to call it for dinner.
That's not what you said before.
I don't know what I
You
just
said to call it for dinner because its name is Fate Karma for Dinner.
Mm.
Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
No, that's fine.
It's rude.
No,
it's
rude.
rude.
It's correct to correct things that need to be corrected.
I'm Loki Sapfoot.
Oh, and I'm Holiday Rob.
Alright.
What?
This has been the problem with everything.
Come on.
Catch you next week.
Rock and roll, guys.
Yo. It's Loki Sapfoot. This is the problem with everything. This is a song by Batwings for Lab Rats. It was written when I was young and felt like there was hope. It's called Not Afraid. Step with me into a mindset where you just aren't afraid anymore.
No fear.
Come with me, won't you? Batwings for Lab Rats, Not Afraid. All up in your ear, pussy bitch.
Woo.
Stuck in the fold again, drying glued up. No cracks to slip through, no place to get to. A plane laid out, no wind inside. It's this dawnless night. These clocks unwinding, these bending brains. Insane behavior, curtailed observer. It's stranger than science. Alliance with violence, mindless compliance. A hate bots accepting a fate of division. We stand here with our hands in the air, and they ignore us like we're not there. But if you weren't standing right here, you'll watch it on your TV screen. Love but cocoons, this skin's a prison. My mission shall bloom, my isness shall glisten. Insistence on visions a must. Distrust all truth, there's no such thing. Outsane, disdain, so pained by the program. I am God, so get off your knees. See the stars shining, intertwined serpents climbing the sky. Why is the reason this season's for chaos? Season for chaos. We stand here with our hands in the air, and they ignore us like we're not there. But if birth of perversion, take your heart back. Soul cracks aversion, a truth you can't win at. I've been that in this both. Hidden my wings, have grown up and out is the only place to get to. I spit you a heart shard to pierce the veil with. I play with fire, I love to burn. I'm unconcerned now, jonesing for nothing. Loving the struggle to crack the facade.
We stand here with our hands in the air, and they ignore us like we're not there. But if you weren't standing right here, you'll watch it on your TV.
What if we just want a break? 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 Not a break! Not a break!
We stand here with our hands in the air, and they ignore us like we're not there. But if you weren't standing right here, you'll watch it on your TV.